Welcome to the 5th Annual Commencement Ceremony, recognizing the members of the St. Charles High School Class of 2020. We will begin our ceremony today with the Pledge of Allegiance led by our Student Government President, Jada Huntley.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My name is Shania Harvard Lamb, and I am Vice Principal of the Class of 2020. On behalf of our students, administration, faculty, and staff, it is my privilege to welcome you to our graduation ceremony. In these trying times, we are gathered virtually today to celebrate the dedication and accomplishments of this amazing group of students. And we hope that each of you, our graduates, view today not as an ending, but as a beginning to the world that awaits you. At this time, Maklik Teklahimano, National Honor Society President, will introduce the members of the Charles County Board of Education who have a few words to share with our graduates.
I'm honored to present to you the distinguished member of the Charles County Board of Education, Chairman Virginia McGraw, Vice Chairman Latiana Wilson, Board Member Jennifer Abel, Board Member Jala Bader Lockhart, Board Member Elizabeth Brown, Board Member David Hancock, Board Member Michael Lucas. Now there is a video I'd like to show you.
Congratulations, Class of 2020. The Board of Education is here today to celebrate you and your accomplishments over the last 13 years because you deserve it. We know that a virtual graduation is not what you had hoped for, but time and distance does not make it any less important.
You've adapted to circumstances that we wouldn't have dreamed of when we started the school year. Take the skills and the knowledge you have gained and turn it into something to help the world. Don't be afraid of history. Learn from it. We are not celebrating graduation as we have in the past, but we are celebrating.
Graduation is a milestone you have earned through hard work. While we will always remember the class of 2020 as the one that graduated virtually, it does not define you. No one person or thing, even a global pandemic, can diminish your successes. Success is what you make it.
You're indeed a special class. You have managed the challenge of being uprooted from your schools and all the teaching and learning that helped make senior year memorable. This experience, while it's truly unfair today, is one of many that will shape you throughout your life.
We're counting on you to take those experiences to help us rebuild, not in a pre-pandemic way, but in a way that takes the best of education and improves upon it to create a world-class, equitable public school system.
The pandemic has sent more people online than ever before, as we've moved from the classroom to virtual learning, webinars, and social engagement. It may sound funny, but we encourage you to step out of the virtual world when you can for real-time experiences when it is safe to resume in-person contact.
We encourage you to take care of yourself. Accept responsibility for your future. Be great. Always be mindful on how your actions affect other people. Class of 2020, you made history. We want to make sure that you're recognized not only for your accomplishments, but for your tenacity and how you navigated your final high school months online and from a distance. Good luck in the future.
Today, 2020 graduates of Charles County Public Schools, you are graduating during a pandemic that has changed the world. Now it is your time to move forward and lead that change. We are so very proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck.
Finally, I would like to take a moment to recognize the member of St. Charles High School faculty and staff. We, the class of 2020, would like to thank you for all that you have done for us during our time at St. Charles High School.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce two of our outstanding student leaders who bring greetings from our student body. First, our SGA President, Jada Huntley, and following her, Krisha Marie Melchor, Senior Class President.
Good morning, parents, faculty, friends, Spartan family. and the class of 2020. Well, guys, we did it. As I speak to this camera, imagining seeing each and every one of your faces in the crowd that would have been in front of me today, I am heartbroken to how our senior year has ended. We weren't able to create the senior memories we've looked forward to since the first day we stepped into St. Charles. Who would have known our last day would have been our last day? Though nothing can make up for what we've lost these past few months, as the journey is about to begin for each and every one of us, will be much greater. Whether you're attending a four-year university, a two-year college, enlisting in the military, attending a trade school, entering the workforce, or even just taking the next year off, congratulate yourself. We've been on the schedule of waking up every morning and heading to school for 12 even more years. This may have not been the ending we've wanted, but we've made it here, and we should all be proud. As I stand here about to graduate from St. Charles High School, I reflect on the amazing and unforgettable memories we've made together, not just as a class, but as a school and community. Looking back on our freshman year, it didn't seem as though it would be forever to our senior year, but hey, look at us, we're here. From our first pep rally to our last homecoming. That great sound of the bell at 2:15 announcing the school day being over, and I can't forget the first and amazing history-making achievements our students and athletes have made this year. I'm going to miss saying good morning to all my fourth-floor teachers, the spirit days, the good deep class discussions. I will not miss the AP Lit essays that were due on all those Sundays though. Thanks, Mr. Jenkins. Though in all, the class of 2020 will never be forgotten. As my journey throughout these 12 years of school hasn't been so easy, I'd like to give a big thank you to my mom and dad for everything they've done to get me to this point, because it's been a long ride and I wouldn't have made it without their support. I'd also like to give a big thank you to my big sister Janiyah and best friends D'Angelo Carroll and Max Brooks. You guys have been the best throughout everything as we've taken this crazy journey of high school. To all my coaches and teachers, thank you. The amount of work you put in each day will always be appreciated. Ms. Carpenter, Mr. Chisholm, Ms. Lawless, Ms. Wrestler, the list goes on. And to St. Charles High School, thank you for the amazing 4 years it's been and the best. The memories we made will always be with us. As we head on this journey to adulthood, we will face many challenges. Though I know each and every one of you have the strength to overcome each and every one. You are so special and you have a purpose. Now it's your time to find it and explore it. As the legend Kobe Bryant once said, it's the one thing you can't control. You are responsible for how people remember you, or don't. So don't take it lightly. Be yourself and success will come along as you continue to work hard and push yourself. Thank you, St. Charles, and from the best class to come out, 2020, we out.
Good morning, distinguished guests, administration, faculty and staff, family and friends, and more importantly, the class of 2020. It is my honor and privilege to be representing the class of 2020 on such an important occasion. Today is the day we've all been waiting for and working so hard for since we were young. This day marks one of the most important milestones we've ever encountered in our lives. Before I introduce my wonderful class, I would like to thank those who had a huge impact on my life. First, there's God. His unfailing love and guidance has allowed me to become the person I am today. My faith to him is much greater than one can imagine, and I am truly blessed to have him by my side in every step of my life. Next, to my aunts, uncles, and most especially, my beloved parents. I owe everything to them. You guys worked so hard for my siblings and I since day one, and I would be lost without you. We see how hard you both worked since you came to America, and just know we worked twice as hard to make you proud. To my number one fans, Chai and Eon, thank you for always being my cheerleaders and for having my back in good times. Last, friends, teachers, and advisors, thank you for pushing me to my limit and for making my high school experience worthwhile. I will continue to embrace these memories that I have with you, each and every one of you. Now to the ones I'm representing today. In class of 2020. It is true when they say that high school could seem like forever or seem like it happened in a blink of an eye depending on your actions. It feels like just yesterday we were walking through the doors of St. Charles as freshmen, finally getting the experience of high school, trying to find our little cliques or just trying to find a classroom. But as time progressed, we all experienced the good and bad parts of what a typical high schooler would. A lot has happened at our time at St. Charles, losing those closest to us, having our senior experience turned completely upside down, and finally, not being able to celebrate us as a class for our outstanding accomplishments. On the other hand, our class has achieved so much as the years went on. For example, winning the homecoming banner 3 out of 4 years, or having our football team win against North Point for the first time in St. Charles history. A huge shout out to Taylor Stone for being the first female wrestler in St. Charles to ever compete and win at states. To our track members D'Angelo, Lorenzo, Brainius, Ethan, and Reggie for repeatedly qualifying for states. And to our basketball team, not only are we SMAC champions and regional champs, we were on the road to states for the first time in St. Charles history as well. We all have encountered many things in our lives so far, from being born during the worst terrorist attack that our nation has ever encountered to now, graduating in the midst of a global pandemic. Times are indeed getting tougher. This gives us all the more reasons to work harder and smarter, and to show what our generation of brilliant minds are made of. Despite these challenges, we are learning that life does not always go to plan and to always expect the unexpected. Although we are not all here to celebrate us on this momentous occasion, I do hope you are all safe and healthy. Remember that you all are individually unique in all types of ways and have so much to offer to the world. As the late Steve Jobs said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Again, thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what our class has in store for the future. Congratulations, class of 2020, we made it.
Thank you, Jada and Krisha. The salutatorian of the class of 2020 is the student who earned the second highest cumulative grade point average in this year's graduating class. Our salutatorian this year is Joe Mike Christopher Trespaces, the son of Mario Trespaces and Krista Lynn De Leon. Joe has maintained a cumulative grade point average of 4.6 and has been a member of the Spanish Club, Coding Club, National Honor Society, and Hackathon team. He will attend UMBC in the fall to study computer science. At this time, please welcome this year's salutatorian, Joe Mike Christopher.
Good morning, St. Charles High School. Congratulations, class of 2020. We actually made it to the end. Can you believe it? 4 years. Well, that was really a long ride. Before getting into this, I think it would be good to acknowledge the fact that I may have not been able to talk to or meet most of you, and that some of us may have not been able to talk to or meet other people in the graduating class, and that's okay. I'd just like to say thank you for taking this entire journey with me and taking it as seriously as you did. No matter how much effort you gave, it still got you to graduation day. Reflecting upon our class, I like to put into the words of Mr. Jenkins that we really are a jack of all trades class. You all deserve to be proud. Together, we are so many things: scholars, athletes, artists, performers, and so much more. I know not all of us ace things, and don't be discouraged. Even I managed to mess things up along the way, but we have all worked hard to be our best. And I know that we will all continue to do great things, whatever they may be. This graduation will pass, as with anything really, and you will probably forget this speech. But the most important thing you should all remember is that every single high school experience, every life experience, is something to learn from. Also, remember that high school isn't your entire life. Whether you had a great experience or not, you gained something valuable. Whether you loved, laughed, or cried. How you use these experiences is what matters. How will each of us grow from these experiences and become something better? Right now, before I finish, I would like to take some time to thank anyone that has helped you get here today. Maybe they are sitting next to you. Maybe they are across the town or across the country. But please give a big thank you to those that have gotten you to this place in your life. I love you all. So long and good night. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Joe. The valedictorian of the class of 2020 is a student who earned the highest cumulative grade point average in this year's graduating class. Our valedictorian this year is Faith Washington, the daughter of David and Beatrice Washington. Faith has maintained a cumulative grade point average of 4.606 and has been a member of the National Honor Society, Field Hockey, and Destination Imagination teams, and has served as president of the Key Club. She will attend Johns Hopkins University in the fall to study biology. At this time, please welcome this year's valedictorian, Faith Washington.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations, St. Charles Class of 2020. I'm going to be honest, when I sat down to write this speech, I didn't know what to say. I had 1,001 ideas bouncing around in my head, but none of them felt right. Some of them were too cliche, while others were too impersonal. I wanted this to be heartfelt, but not sappy, meaningful, but not boring. So here's what I've got. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to you, Class of 2020. We did it. All the hard work that we've put in over the past 12 years is coming to fruition. The late nights, the last-minute study sessions, and the tears are finally paying off. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. Through all of the adversity we've faced these past few months, like having prom cancel, or missing our last season with our teams, or even participating in our last concert or theater production, we can still say that we pushed through. While I wish that we were able to celebrate this achievement together, we can still celebrate while we are apart. So I want to share a little bit about my journey to this point. I've dreamed of this moment ever since elementary school. If I was going to do anything in high school, I was going to be valedictorian. So I put in the work for it. I put my best foot forward and set a course for my goal. Through all of middle school, I tried my hardest to get straight A's because anything less than that was unacceptable. I carried that same mentality with me to high school. I had to get straight A's. I needed to take as many AP classes as possible because I had to be valedictorian. If I wasn't, then what was I? What was the point of all the extra work that I had put in over the past years? I had put so much unnecessary stress on myself. But then, towards the end of junior year, I realized something. Being valedictorian did not define me. After high school, it's not going to matter anyways. That quest may have been the only side of me that some people chose to see, but it's not everything that I am. The actions and the choices that I made are what define me. The real value in my high school experience came from the relationships that I've built with other people. And that's the message that we need to take with us for the rest of our lives. It's not about the labels. It's about our actions and the choices and the relationships that we make that will define who we are and what we become. So I want to ask you, class, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Are you the class clown, the pretty girl, or your everyday jock? We are much more than the labels that people use to define us. We're the future doctors, engineers, computer scientists, forensic scientists, NBA and NFL stars, artists, rappers, and singers. There's so much waiting for us out there, but it's up to you to reach for it. This marks the beginning of our journey through adulthood, one of the first steps on this journey we call life. So don't give up and keep reaching for bigger and better things. And finally, I want to say thank you to all of the people that made it possible for us to be here today. Thank you to our families and the friends who loved us, and to the teachers that believed in us when we didn't even believe in ourselves. We couldn't have done it without you. And once again, congratulations, Class of 2020.
Thank you, Faith. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our principal, Mr. Richard Conley, for his farewell remarks to the Class of 2020.
Good morning, parents, guardians, families, friends, and members of the Class of 2020. As I begin today, I'd like to ask you to take a trip with me. We're going back in time about 18 years, which puts us just around late 2001 and early 2002. Why is this significant? Well, that's when most of today's graduates were born. In fact, almost half of our class of 360 students were born in the months immediately prior to, or just after, the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Those were scary times for our country. We had been attacked without warning, our sense of security was wavering, and our way of life changed almost instantly. That was the state of the world into which many of you were born. Jumping back to the present, as we celebrate today, our world has suddenly changed again. I don't think that many of us, if any of us, honestly thought when we left our school on March 13th that we wouldn't soon be back to business as usual. We just knew that the state basketball championships were going to be made up and that we were going to win. We just knew that we'd be able to see and interact with our friends, teachers, and students again. We just knew that we'd have your prom in April, and we just knew that this momentous event that we're celebrating now, this high school graduation, would be held in a venue packed with family and friends to cheer our graduates on. Unfortunately, that wasn't meant to be. You may wonder why I've chosen to begin what should be a happy speech with depressing memories. The answer is simple. Both of these situations, the state of our world in 2001 and the state of our world today, have proven that you, the members of the class of 2020, really are the fierce, determined, and resilient warriors that we know you to be. Adversity doesn't stop you. It's merely a bump in the road, a challenge that you always work hard to solve and to overcome as you continue forward on your path to success. These challenges and the lessons learned from them, while they have at times brought disappointment, have also strengthened you and have taught you how to persevere. This ability, far more than most things you have learned or will learn from textbooks, will serve you well in life. It will enable you to think critically, solve problems, and find a way around the barriers that may stand in your way. And on the other side of those barriers lies the success that you seek and have so rightly earned. Today's graduation is the culmination of 13 years of hard work and determination, the results of which are tremendous. A total of 358 of you are graduating today, and you have some fantastic post-secondary plans. 77 of you are entering the workforce. 33 of you will be serving in our armed forces. 6 of you will pursue an apprenticeship. 13 of you will attend vocational or technical schools. 121 of you will attend two-year schools, and 108 of you will attend four-year colleges or universities. Members of your class were accepted to 191 different colleges in 37 states across the country, and 97 of you received scholarships or other financial awards totaling $19,589,921. Based on those statistics alone, the St. Charles class of 2020 has truly achieved greatness and continues to raise the bar for future Spartans. Before I close my remarks, I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank all of the parents, guardians, siblings, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and extensive networks of family and friends who have supported you on your journey. As your principal, it's my honor to thank them on your behalf and on behalf of the school. They have been and always will be your best role models, and it's been our privilege to partner with them in your education. Thank you, families, for your support of us and our school. It's because of you that we've been able to help your children achieve this milestone today. Class of 2020, it's been my privilege to serve as your principal and to be able to address you today on behalf of our entire staff to share our words of pride, joy, and congratulations. As you leave us, you're undoubtedly looking forward toward the bright and exciting futures that lie before you. We know that you'll continue to be leaders on whatever path you choose to follow in life, and that you and your actions will always make us proud. Congratulations again, class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Conley. Now it is my distinct privilege to introduce the Superintendent of Charles County Public Schools, Dr. Kimberly Hill.
Thank you, Ms. Harvard Lamb. On behalf of the members of the Board of Education and all of us who work in Charles County Public Schools, congratulations to the St. Charles High School class of 2020. I think we can all agree this isn't how it was supposed to be. Your senior year abruptly ended on March 13th, and we are very sorry about that. You didn't have the chance to say thank you or goodbye to your classmates, your teachers, your coaches, and all of those who helped you along the way. We've missed the hugs, the cheers, and the tears of joy that happen in a graduation ceremony. And most of all, we miss you, the members of the class of 2020. Despite a major worldwide pandemic, you have reached an important milestone that no one can take away from you. You have shown strength, resilience, and leadership, and that will serve you well in the future. Your attitude toward the challenges you have faced and those you will face in the future is the foundation for every success and every failure that you will ever have. Attitude impacts the way you feel about people and situations, and it can determine how others feel about you. Class of 2020, recognize how your attitude affects those around you and take responsibility for the energy you're putting out there. Choose to surround yourself with people who will lift you up, not tear you down. And be that person who chooses to show up with enthusiasm and energy for whatever situation you may face. It is time for you to go forth and practice what you have learned. As you do so, we hope that you'll take to heart the words of Dr. Maya Angelou when she said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Class of 2020, the world needs you right now. Do your best to make the world a better place. Mr. Conley, please present your class.
Thank you, Dr. Hill. It's my privilege to certify that each of these 358 students have met the requirements for a Maryland High School diploma or certificate as established by the Maryland State Department of Education and the Charles County Board of Education. Additionally, I'm honored to certify that 163 of these graduates have also met the requirements for a Charles County Certificate of Merit.
Faith Washington. Joe Mike Christopher Trespasses. Macleet Tekla Hymenot. Cameron Brown. Rachel Jover. Lusanne Lee Oliver. Camden Burrows. Michaela Pape. Jada Jernigan. Orlando Aguilar. Francis Xavier Abaquita. Christine Akpan. Aliana Ali. Muhammad Ali. Bilal Ali Jr. Kiara Allen. Naya Allen. Aliyah Amosu. Jada Anderson. Ruby Antunya Salas. Ashanti Armstrong. Matthew Ashburn. DeAndre Ockard. Sydney Ball. Armani Barber. Asia Barnes. Kadeja Barnes. Courtney Bartlett. Amaya Batchelor. Clayton Batten. Sean Bean. Tamaya Beatty Brown, Michael Bell Jr., Amaya Bellamy, Lawrence Bikert, Shannon Biggs, Deshayla Bivens, Reginald Black, Logan Blaze, Dion Bond, Nathaniel Brad, Jared Brommel, Destiny Bretler, Tyron Briscoe, Anaya Brooks, Dominic Brooks, Sade Broughton, Jada Brown, Kesia Brown, Nakira Burrows, Ramon Bush, Shamar Butler, Vincent Butler III, Derek Butler Jr., Tajay Bayer, Helena Kaya, Michaela Callahan, Ishmael Camp, James Carr, D'Angelo Carroll, Siani Carter, Demia Carter, Antone Colley, Sebastian Chamberlain, Micaiah Chavis, Tremaine Chesley, Chakwuka Chidozi, Anissa Clarita, Alexis Clark, Samantha Clark, Kalia Clark, Jalen Coates, Micah Cole, Michael Alexander Coleman, Nicholas Kahn, DeAndre Cook, Ariana Cooks, Dashay Corley Nelson, Kalia Covington, Nicholas Crane, John Cristado III, Stephen Cross, Leah Curry, Mackenzie Curtis, Morgan Curtis, Karen Damian, Rainius Daramola, Mackenzie Darden, Angel Davis, Myron Davis,
Brianna Day, David Day. Trevon Dean Lewis. Colwyn Devlin. Chancel Diego. Anthony Donge. Keith Dickerson Jr. Darren Dornberger. Lakesia Dotson. Kevon Douglas. Denasia Dozier. Yasmin Duckenfield. Savannah Duduke. Quinn Duffy. Godfrey Duncan. Travis Dye. Jamie Dyson. Brian Edmonds II. Jace Esposito. Tony Estes. Gianni Estrada. Justin Eversley. Brendan Farmer. Araya Felix. Kyrie Finch. Diamond Fisher. Joshua Fisher. Joshua Fisher. Monique Fisher. Michael Fletcher Jr. Robert Folson III. Aurelian Phone Takam. Divine Forte. Connor Foster. Jalen Freeman. Tavon Freeman. Jamal Frierson. Jamila Fuller. Ariel Garrison. Corinne Gatewood. Jalen Gilchrist. Naya Gillum. Christian Joriel Gloria. David Godfrey. Raymond Good III. Austin Gosford. Brooke Gray. Tori Gray. Samaya Green. Elijah Gregory. Andre Grigsby Jr. Lauren Grove. Garrett Gully. Kiana Gwynn. James Hagans Tomlin. Jalen Hagans. Ethan Hall. James Hall. Deontay Hallman. Victoria Hanberry. Dylan Hardesty. Abigail Harold, Keyshawn Harrington, Demare Harris, Kayla Harris, Sanaya Harris, Simone Harrison, Dana Hardy, Shanita Haskins, Jamon Hawk, Adrian Hawkins, Corey Hawkins, Gregory Hawkins Jr., Andre Hurd, Shahid Hedgespeth, Koa Hedgespeth, Amir Heflin, Jelani Henderson, Marisha Ricard Henry, Eileen Hernandez, Melissa Herrera, Jarrell Haro, Alyssa Hill, Cody Hodges, Tayton Hefferly, Kishara Holmes, Quentin Holmes, Arisha Howard, Marcus Hunter, Jada Huntley,
Alex Hyde, Layla Ibrahim, Aaliyah Jackson, Gabrielle Jackson, Nakaya Jackson, Xavier Jackson, Tala Jagney, Jada James, Ryan Jameson, Jose Jarvio, Carissa Jenkins, Brandon Johnson, Bria Johnson, Carlos Johnson, Danielle Johnson, Jasmine Johnson, Lauren Johnson, Leah Johnson, Akia Jones, Erica Jones, Kyrie Jones, Mariah Jones, Travion Jones, Justin Jordan, Mitchell Cantor, Elijah Kennedy, Sirac Kine, Alexandria King, Alyssa Knight, Kwame Conan, Michael Krajek, Evelyn Croonan, Zariah Laddie, Brian Lahosky, Tavia Levinson, Brandon Lewis, Braxton Lewis, Kirsten Lewis Minor, Ruby Long, Kamichi Lynch, Brania Maddox, Destiny Mallory, Maxwell Marshall, Kennard Martin, Sydney Martin, Bryant Martin Jr., DeMonte Mason, Kayla Mason, Jordan Mathis, Lauren Maxwell, Robert MacArthur III, Mikhail McCrae, Dylan McCullough, Stephen McEachern, Lavelle McElhaney, Omar McGann, Jaden McGarra, Liana McKenney, Taj McKnight, Cedric McCoy, Brianna McMillan, Krisha Marie Melchor, Devin Mendoza, Jennifer Mendoza, Ayana Milliner, Ashlyn Milstead, Zakira Minor, Rakayla Mitchell, Joseph Mobley, Malachi Montgomery Birch, Cabria Moore, Michael Moore, Ashlyn Morgan, Nyla Morrison, Brooklyn Murray, Ceres Murray, Jalen Nash, Isonos Nelson, Jaquan Nelson, V. Nguyen, Isis Nichols, Abiola Ojo, Jasmine Olawale, Abdul Khalik Pasha, Tyreek Patrick, Andrew Pedigo, Lorenzo Pelham, Darius Perez Cruz,
Richard Peterson, Eli Plitt, Kiana Poindexter,
Elena Portlock, Eric Presley, Donovan Proctor, Zachary Proctor, Armand Purvey, Kylie Queen, Mark Queen, Caleb Quick, Kyle Regal, Tyron Rex Campbell, Travis Reyes, Kyle Richardson, Catherine Rivera Garcia, Colby Robinson, Maurice Robinson II, Ronald Robinson Jr., Gabriela Rodriguez, Elizabeth Rogers, Jonathan Rozier, Janiyah Rozier, Autumn Russell, Demetrius Sally, Joshua Santos, Sean Savage, Troy Scranage, Reginald Siegler Jr., Ethan Shepard, Nige Simmons, Devin Sims,
Courtney Smith,
Jared Smith, Kevin Smith II, Raina Smith, Tiffany Solis, Cameron Sorrell, Abdul Sow, Madison Staples, Langston Staten, Taylor Stone, Tyler Stroy, Taylor Stewart, Kyla Sutton, Taylor Swanson, Evan Tarburton, Lovely Tatum, Jalen Taylor, Shamia Taylor, Blen Tesfaye, Alicia Thomas, Jalexis Thomas, Cornelius Thompson, Cornell Thompson, Adrian Thompson Jr., Patience Tinsley, Nicholas Turisi, Micaiah Underdew, Valine Uzokwu, Emily Van Hoosier, Aaliyah Vaughn, Leslie Vivar,
Ariel Walker, Jayla Walker, Adrian Walton, Jayla Walton, Carnell Warner II, Ajane West, Warren Whitaker, Ari White, Arthur White Jr., Asia Williams, Isaiah Williams, LaDanian Williams, Nyree Williams, Dominic Williams Jr., Heather Wilson, Jayla Winters, Eric Witherspoon, Savannah Wood, Shane Wood, Jacob Woodley, Isaiah Woods, Matthew Woodward, Jordan Woody, Jordan Wormang, Zoe Worthington, Autumn Young, Diamond Zeddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for today's ceremony. As we bid you and our graduates farewell, it's my pleasure to present to you the 5th graduating class of St. Charles High School, the class of 2020.